Hello, my name is Charles Ardinger, and I'll be working with you as your instructor in your forthcoming English 100 class. I wanted to make this brief video presentation to introduce myself, to tell you a little bit about myself, and to tell you about some aspects of this online class that knowing about will help you as you continue through our work together. So, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Charles Ardinger. Hello. I've been working here at Coastline since 2013, beginning as a tutor in the Student Success Center and progressing to my current state as an instructor in the English department. In the English department, I consider myself an expert on the subject of English grammar. I think of myself as someone who knows a lot about that subject. I'm very interested in the subject, and I like answering questions about English grammar. So if you have any, please do not hesitate to email me and let me know. I would really like to talk more about that particular subject. I'll be learning more about you through your writing as we continue, and you'll probably be learning a little more about me also. So let's move on then to discussing some aspects of the class that we'll be working in together so that we can make this easier for everyone. So this is the front page or home page of our class, and I want to point out some aspects that you can see on this page that will help you as we keep going. First of all, I want to point out that on the right side of the page here and down the middle of the page here are schedules. These are lists of assignments and the dates they're due. For example, on Saturday, August 31st, you'll have due a student introductions discussion and a student learning contract, both of which you'll learn more about by reading the syllabus. Seeing this schedule can help you know at any point during the course where you are and what you should be doing. It's a way to help you manage your time, and time management, in my mind, is a very important skill in an online class. Knowing when things should happen is vitally important because we don't have a set meeting time to all get together. You're kind of on your own for turning in assignments on time. I also would like to point out a way that I have of communicating with you through the course, and that is through these announcements. You will see announcements such as this one at the top of your page. I'll make announcements like this every once or twice a week to talk about issues we see in class or issues of grammar or anything else that's on my mind, pretty much. The way to read one of these announcements is to go to its title, such as this one, and click on it. Doing that leads you to a page that looks like this, and you'll have time at your leisure to read this announcement. You can either pause this video or look at the announcement once we're all in class together. It basically says what I just told you. These announcements will appear once or twice a week. They'll be about issues in class that I see or, whatever I think scholastically is going on. And I won't quiz you on them, but they can be quite beneficial to you as we keep going, so I strongly suggest that you read these announcements as they appear. That's one way I have to keep in contact with you. Another way is through my responses to what you submit to the assignments that you give me. And to find out more about that, we can look at this link that says Grades. Following this link will help you see how I've responded to your assignments, and I want to show you right now an example of how I'll do that. So, to get to an assignment, click this link, and that will lead you to a list of the assignments in this class. Here's that discussion, here's that learning contract, and here is the first assignment from Module 1. I have completed this as an imaginary student, and that imaginary student has gotten a response. Got a 90% out of 100 on the assignment, so that's good, but not quite perfect. So we might want to take a look at the assignment itself and see how that can be improved. To do that, click on the name of the assignment. that will lead you to a page that looks like this. And on that page, you will see 3 ways in which I have responded to your work. First, you'll notice this comment. I'll make a comment of this kind on everything you submit. I will use the comment to give you advice about how you can improve your work for future assignments. I'll give advice about what I see in your assignment as a reader. Things that don't make sense to me, I'll point them out. Things that do make sense to me, I'll also point them out. So that's one way to stay in touch with me about what's going on in your class with your assignments. Another thing we can do is look at this rubric. Now, a rubric is a list of aspects that I want to see in a particular assignment. And those aspects have point values, and I use those point values to help me grade the assignments you send. So it can be helpful for you to look at the rubric and see what's going on. So by clicking this link, we get this rubric. And what we see is that this student followed the right pattern, used the right sentence structure for an outline. Didn't quite make the word length that the assignment was looking for. So in the future, the student knows to work a little harder at putting more words into the assignment. So looking at the rubric can help you get an idea of exactly what you want to do in any assignment, what kind of goals you want to shoot for. So let's get rid of that and look at a third way in which I can respond to your paper, which is through annotations. You'll see those by clicking this View Feedback link on this page. That leads to a little copy of the work. It'll look like this. On this work, I've annotated it, or sort of written on your paper, in 2 ways. First, I make annotations that look like this. Basically, it's as if I'm writing in pink ink between the typed lines of your assignment. And I'll use that to make suggestions about more academic grammar or ways that a sentence could be more efficiently worded. I'll also make highlighted annotations that look like this. Part of a sentence is highlighted. Now this leads to a text box over here that will contain a longer comment that I can fit easily between the lines of your typed work. So I'll use these highlighted comments for more complicated comments, things that I have to use more words to say. So when you turn in any assignment, you'll get a grade, and with that grade will come a comment and some annotations, and I'll mark the rubric. And those are 3 ways in which we can communicate from instructor to student over the course of the class. But more importantly, I'd like to have more 2-way communication if possible. So I have instituted what I call student visiting time. Right here, under this lovely picture of me, under my email address, there is a link to my Zoom office. I will be in that Zoom office on Thursdays between 18:30 and 2000, or, if you're not in the military, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And you can get to that office through this link. Visiting me in my Zoom office during student visiting time is an opportunity for us to chat, for us to communicate, to converse. We can talk about issues that you're seeing in class. We can talk about questions that you might have about assignments. We can talk about pretty much, anything that's on your mind. This is an opportunity for us to get together as, humans and talk. Also, this is an opportunity to earn some extra credit points in the class, and you can look at your syllabus to learn more about that. So again, on Thursdays, 6:30 to 8 Pacific time, feel free to visit me in my Zoom office. And finally, because a lot of students are a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for, insecure about their grammar skills, I've developed some grammar refresher modules. These are automatic. They're automated, I should say. And by going into them, you can look at some more lectures that I've made on points of grammar. You can take little self-guided tests to check how you're using grammar. And ideally, you can refresh your knowledge on these grammar subjects to help you feel more confident about what you're doing grammatically in this class. Now, I can add more of these modules to the class based on what students need. So let me know what you need, and I will try to address those needs as efficiently as possible. And those are some aspects of this class that will help you to think about as we keep going. So I hope that this makes a lot of sense to you, and if it doesn't, I hope that you will ask me questions about it. You have my email address, and I answer those emails within about 24 to 48 hours. Usually the former of those. I usually get to you within about a day. So you can ask me questions about whatever is on your mind through email or in those student visiting times. Finally, I'd like to thank you. First, I'd like to thank you for enrolling in this class. Without a student, there would be no need for a class at all, and therefore no need for me. So I very much appreciate your being in this class and helping me continue to have a job. And I would also like to thank you for your time and your attention.